What's happening, everyone? Welcome. I have not had a Richard Hart AMA for months, and I thought, hey, every once in a while I got to do a Maxi thing here, right? Got to talk. I talk about Scivive and stuff too. I talk about, again, I'm a RHMax for his ideals and his products and ecosystem. So just want to make that clear. Some people are like, you should only talk about his products. Should I do that? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot more interesting things, broadly speaking, about his ideals and his mission and all that stuff too. Anyways, I did like 5 of these before at the sad time, January, February. Remember January and February this year? Very sad time. Maximum FUD, all the SEC nonsense, all that stuff around the influencers and otherwise. God, it's glad to be a creator. Glad not to be an influencer. I like creating things. If I happen to influence people, it happens, but definitely consider myself a creator rather than influencer. Anyway, it should be a fun show. Y'all, please ask some good questions because, if you've been watching me for a while, I am not just some Richard Hart cheerleader. I definitely believe in constructive criticism, and I don't think he makes a lot of mistakes, but every once in a while, it's probably some things that he would like to get back himself to. And I've been following him, as the title says, for 6 years. So I feel like more than a lot of people, I understand his mission and his, why he does things he does more than a lot of people, from on the outside, of course. And sometimes I call him Dad, just affectionately. People say we look alike. I don't know. Maybe he did. I do have a couple pictures. Me and SJ did the Scivive stream 2 or 3 months ago, and I put a picture. It's like a house and some puppies, and me and her in it, and Richard's in the middle wearing the glasses like me, and he wears a hat every once in a while too. Anyways, enough rambling. You get to the chat. Fox Moder, what's happening? Guy, I will get back to your question in just a minute. I'm just going to go through some of the comments real quick. Mike James, second. You silver medal, second place, second here. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming. I followed Richard since Wellpool. Stizzy, please remind me of this. I'm not sure I remember Wellpool, and like I said, I haven't been streaming for 6 years. I haven't been active in the community for 6 years, but I've definitely been following Richard since 2017, as far as my memory serves me. So remind me what Wellpool is. I know all about the BitMEX referral stuff, CFD token, all that, but I'm always curious when I hear something that I actually haven't, that I couldn't tell you about. So please tell me about this. What's up, Ted Nelson? Welcome, sir. Welcome. The Chad of the Donners of the party, not the Donner party. We do not believe Chad is a cannibal. He may be a manimal, but not a cannibal. Welcome to the chat, Chad. What's up, Mark? Welcome. What's his girth? Well, I think he's mentioned Red Bull size many times, so I'll let that one speak for itself. Coin Critic, what's up, Coin Critic? Welcome. Legalize Hex. I like that. Welcome. Adam Quinn said you all should like this if you would like to. Again, not an influencer, so don't really care, but I heard it helped spread the message. I just got verified on Twitter. It still doesn't show me a blue check mark, but I did go through the process. I'm verified on Twitter. Apparently it's supposed to amplify your voice on there. So that was fun. It didn't work forever. Wouldn't verify forever. Literally, I've been trying to do it for the last 2 or 3 months. It just didn't work. So finally apparently went through. But then, once you change your account, they have to restrict it. It's a mess. It's all the ads and stuff on Twitter lately just been annoying me too. Anyways, it's not what we're talking about though. Fallen since Mad Bitcoin's guest appearance. See, I don't remember that show either, Mad Bitcoins. There's been a couple of shows. I feel like I've watched every Richard stream, even the ones not on his channel, or at least I would say not every. I don't want to think that I've seen every single one, but I actually saw some ones recently. Somebody had an Excel spreadsheet they shared that had some of the ones in there. And a lot of people actually saw him on Max Kaiser. And I don't even remember seeing him on Max Kaiser. I'm sure I did at some point. Maybe I came across it. But I definitely remember the 8-hour live streams in the dark, all that stuff. But even the Max Kaiser, you see, that one didn't onboard me. I think his self-help playlist onboarded me more than anything. And then I wanted to learn about crypto. Anyways, I have my story. Search RHMax, my story or whatever. And I can go through it as well. There's some more details how I got onboarded. And then in this not even in the ecosystem, how I got onboarded to Richard Hart. That's pretty unique, I think. Not coming here from Hex or PulseChain, but coming here for Richard and then being like, yep, I like the how does he say it? I like the cut of your jib. I love it when he says it. It's pretty good. Ray says, how's the diet going? Ray, I need to get back on it. So I fasted for 2 days. I have a 3-day fast coming up here in a couple weeks. Going to go on I'm going to fast part of it at home and part of it on a trip where, maybe I mentioned this before. Maybe I'll go camping and not bring any food. And it should be fun. I got a friend of mine who's interested in this stuff too. So we shall help each other. So the diet is, I've had some friends and family around recently, so it's been a little bit off. I've been feeling it too. I've been getting my headaches a little bit more too. I think it's the sugar. So it's, but I'm sliding back into it today. Very little sugar, little calories, and I'm just going to have some beef. I got some brisket in there, some barbecue. So I'm going to have it. Still going to do calorie restriction. Still going to do low carbs, low sugar. And I may either fast for dinner or maybe I'll have a bite. We'll see. Yeah, Richard was on Max Kaiser. I know twice. I clipped it. I clipped at least one of them because I came across it and it's not on YouTube and it's very hard to find. It's on some channel. It's on like maybe his website. It's on like Max Kaiser still has it archived on his website. It's pretty funny. So no sugar at all. Your stomach is shrunk. That's awesome, man. Yeah, sugar is. I'm starting to not like sugar. I love pastries. I love different kinds of pastries and cream cheese and all that stuff and cake. But there is such thing as too much sugar. I'll say that. So I'm definitely going to do that. 4 eggs? Yes, dude. You really only need eggs. It's not health advice whatsoever. I don't give any professional advice of any sort on the show. But I feel like I could just eat eggs forever. It's got everything you need in them. Everything I need, at least. Again, not diet advice. I'm not a diet advice channel either. Anyways, let's see. Let's start off. Guy, I idolized RH for years. Still can't accept how shitty the creation of the WBTC pool on someone Pulse Farms and RH saying you're free to BTC. It's worthless. Price going up. I don't quite understand this guy. Could you elaborate? I can't accept how the shitty creation of the WBTC pool. So there's a pool on PulseX. I'm going to pull it up while we have it here. Also going to go to Richard's website and stuff too, but let's just take a look at this because I don't know, maybe am I like known as the Validator Inc. security guy now? I don't know. Those are my 3 most interesting topics other than, of course, Richard Hart trivia and stuff like that. Let's see. So there is a WBTC PLS farm. And you're saying that creation of the pool, I assume you mean this farm, by someone on Pulse Farms, and then are you saying your free BTC is worthless? Price going up, right? Are you saying that he said that the WBTC, didn't he show a chart of both of them going up? Like when it first launched, the copy of WBTC, the ratio between them was like really high or something. That's what I remember that happening. Price going up and wrecking everyone. Yeah, I'm not sure I understand. I follow you guys, so please add some more details. I can talk about it because I'm not sure the context of this one. I don't know if I remember that happening. Ted Nelson, cut out sugars, most candles. Yeah, man. Water with lemon, ginger's good. You can add some honey in there for, if you're not fasting. If you're fasting, you can still do ginger and lemon, just not add the honey. I think it only adds like, a few calories. So I don't think it'll break your fast. Don't take my advice for it, obviously. But you can do that. You can do, carbonated water stuff that has no calories. You can do coffee, of course. That's kind of what I survived on for a couple of days. Mark Danes, here we go. Yeah, please put your questions about Richard Hart in the chat. I'm trying to focus on that. And I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm trying to focus on that for this AMA because it's the Richard Hart AMA. By the way, if you want to see the prior ones that I talk about in detail about a lot of stuff, to search RHMax Richard Hart AMA, and you can find like 5 other ones that I did earlier this year that I go into detail about a lot of the Richard Hart stuff. Mark says, I want to know why RH not streaming. Feels like it's been kidnapped. Someone's drained the whole network. Don't get why he's tweeting, not showing his face. It's a good question. Let me just pop it over here to Richard Hart's website, by the way. I'll drop this in the chat in case people haven't seen it. It's been redesigned since he's taken on #humble. So I guess I could ask the question, how do I feel about RH not streaming? I just think that the way I've been rationalizing is, I think he wants to get PulseChain into a good place. And not saying it's in a bad place right now, but I think he really wants to get these stats. He wants to have more things to brag about. Yeah, he's going to be humble, but he definitely wants to show off the power of the network. And I think streaming too, I just don't think it's a priority. And yeah, we'd all like to see him. But I think to him, when he thinks about it, I could imagine he's just kind of like weighing ROI of him streaming versus, working with the devs to get other things done or whatever. All the things we should have no expectations about. I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. I don't think about him streaming that much. I mean, of course, when he does stream, I'm going to be super excited. I'm going to be, oh my gosh, Richard's streaming. Yes, amazing. But it's kind of like, I almost relate it to waiting for PulseChain for 2 years. It's like, there's nothing I can do about it. And when it happens, is my life going to change that much? A lot of people thought their lives were going to change when PulseChain launched. Thought it was going to do a 10x, 100x, 10,000x, whatever you thought it was going to do. And some people are disappointed. And even me, I thought, I suspected, my personal opinion, it would do more than a 2.5x or whatever it did. But when it didn't do that, I wasn't like upset or anything. I was just, okay, well, that's how it is. I guess we're accumulation phase right now. And this whole silver lining has been ink token and people who have capital farming a token that has value, clearly. So I think that's how I think about a lot of things. So I really try to get the best out of it in any situation. But I don't even think PulseChain, all the stuff that's happened, we can go through the bridge stuff, wasn't enough capacity, blah, blah, blah. We can go through V1, V2, PulseX, what turned out to be the burn and earn LP pools. I just don't think it matters. I think what keeps me, to me, it may matter to everyone else. All your feelings are valid, blah, blah, blah. But to me, I keep myself positive and optimistic naturally just by, not thinking, first of all, literally not having expectations. There's not a date where I'm like, I need PulseChain to hit this price by this date. I don't think about it that way, because once you set up expectations, you set yourself up for disappointment when there's things outside of your control. No one has control when Richard streams. No one has control when Pulse price goes up and down, other than the whales, maybe. If you're not one of them, then again, what do you worry about? So it goes back to, I always quote this too, I only try to think about things or worry about things or try to change things that are both noble, means you can know them, somebody can know them, you can get the information, and important, both noble and important. If they're not important but noble, why would I think about it? It's not that important. If they're not noble but important, such as when Richard's streaming, when the price goes up and down, blah, 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 then you can't know them. So by definition, why are you trying to figure something out that you don't have enough information to get a rational explanation for or insight on or whatever it may be. So I really try to focus my attention on things that are both noble and important. I talk about this in the wealth mindset and Mad Gains mindset, all the mindset streams we do as well, which I have one coming up on July 10th, by the way. Should be good. Wealth mindset number 4 should be a great one. So him not streaming, I don't think anything happened to him. I think he's in perfectly good shape. I think that he is just very methodical. He really just wants to stream. He wants to make it a big event. Maybe he's timing something around when maybe Gary Gensler gets fired. And then he's like, all right, whenever he feels like we're going back to bull, or maybe this 10K and price still intact. I don't know. It's just not that important to me that he's streaming right now. And I saw Gold Key talked about this too in a tweet, which I totally agree. Part of the branding, is Satoshi doesn't stream, blah, blah, blah. He used to talk about it. I mean, Richard said a lot of things that he used to hate Ethereum. Oh, he changed his mind on it. There's been a lot of things over time that have changed with him. And of course, the big change coming up with Humble that we've yet to see live yet. But Golki was talking about this too, about that's one of the things we love about Richard is he is different than Satoshi. And he is, streaming is part of the thing that people love to see him do. And it's one of, his favorite things to learn from him and all this stuff. And boy, do we have, I've clipped, was it 250? I have 250 clips coming out from now until June or May 2025, every Thursday, every Throwback Thursday. I've had them every day until PulseChain launched, and I had more than that, so I just kept going with it. I think I have a Richard a vintage or notable clip until the end of June right now, and then every Thursday after that. So we all love seeing him stream. We always get some insight in one way or another, but that's I don't know how to say it. It's like I don't expect him to always do that. I don't expect old Richard to be what we get today. And if you see him move between these different personas and you see him, again, taking on Humble, he went from bring your haters here to die, bring your heroes here to die, I'll crush them, all that stuff. He went from being right a lot to outrage marketing, Gucci everywhere, Prada, all this stuff, to now what appears to be Humble Richard and founder. Almost makes me think of like presidential, right? Presidential Richard wants to be presidential, like Trump used to make fun of. So I don't expect him to be the same. I want him to be what, the character I fell in love with, just does all this cool stuff and, really, really fun to watch and entertaining, infotainment, valuetainment, that sort of thing. But I don't expect him to be. And I'm not sure he will be. I'm not sure once he streams, he will start regularly streaming again, because he hasn't before. He hasn't been regularly streaming for over a year or so. And we only saw him 6 months ago at the Hex conference. This is the last time we saw him. And he looked dead tired, which I guess maybe it's a time zone thing too. We got a few hours at him, which was great. And he did release a video. I mean, it was like a 10-second video, but he did release a video recently, which I thought was a great move to be like, okay, still live type of thing. So I think that was cool. But I think he's tweeting enough. If he ever went silent on Twitter, like, okay, so here's another question. When would I be like worried, I guess? If I ever saw him go silent on Twitter for over a week or two, I'd be like, whoa, what's up? I guess that would make me a little bit like wondering what's going on. But as long as we get communication, as long as updates are happening, otherwise, again, nothing that we should expect. But I just don't think that, I'm not just waiting on him to stream. I'm not waiting on anything really, because I don't have expectations. I'm just looking at what's going on. I'm seeing what the market's doing. I'm seeing how the community is feeling. And, some of us are stacking, some of us are yield farming, some of us are staking, some of us are looking at these. What I thought about more than him streaming has been all the community projects, all the stack phases, and all the stuff that hasn't launched yet that is coming up this year. I thought about that more than I thought about Richard, seeing him on stream again. It's going to be glorious when he does, but I don't know. It's nice to have for me. It's nice to have because, and again, it goes back to all this stuff. Are you upset when the price goes down? I'm not. And why is that? I believe eventually it will go up. It's simple. It really is that simple. I have true conviction that Richard's mission and the way he designed these products and what he's trying to do isn't going to disappear. And if you have full conviction of that, if you truly believe it, if you are a true believer, then the price going up and down tends to affect you much less, at least. And you're not just like on the edge of your seat getting nervous if Richard's, live streaming or not, or like, I don't like that sort of thing. So anyways, that's what gives me peace. I think the true believer thing gives me a lot more peace about everything. Waiting for PulseChain. Yes, it was annoying, but it didn't make me lose, hope or fear or doubt or whatever. I'm not waiting on him to stream. I don't need him to do anything for me. He made it already. So to me, it's like, it's in my hands for what I do now. Anyone can be tweeting. It's like one of those, are we living in a simulation? Richard talked about this before too. To me, it doesn't matter. I don't care if I'm living in a simulation, because if you believe you are, then what benefit is it? What benefit is it for you to believe you're in a simulation or that someone's tweeting for Richard? It would just make you, again, it's unknowable. And it would just make me more nervous to think that way. So I don't like anxiety. I don't need anxiety. I don't want anxiety. I try to cultivate more peace, and it's not about, that's why I try not to entertain a lot of conspiracies and stuff, because what does it benefit me? If it's true one day, then we'll know. But speculating on it and giving yourself anxiety for stuff that is impossible to know, right? To me, it doesn't make sense. So that's why I don't participate in it. Good questions though, Mark. Good questions. Like I said, you guys have concerns, you have whatever. Just this stream is about talking about Richard and all the stuff. So that's what we're doing. I'm scrolling it to the comments in a minute, but yeah, what's up, 8-Bit? What's your opinion on Hex Maximus? Yeah, I saw that today. Interesting. So it's like an index for the both hexes. I think there's a big liquidity play there. And I think that's going to be, I think that is the point, I believe. Again, I haven't looked into it much. I just saw Dipcatcher's tweet and a little bit of conversation, but it struck me as a great way to build up liquidity. And an onboarding tool secondarily, I still feel like telling people to buy CHEX versus EHEX or PX, that's going to take some, I don't know. I have to think about that one a little bit. But I think definitely, the Maximus guys, they know what they're doing. And everything they do, I respect the crap out of them. They don't do sacrifice phases. They build products they actually launch. It's amazing. So I think definitely that everything they build has these intentions that are just like helping Hex, helping grow the ecosystem, helping onboarding or liquidity and stuff like that. So I can't help but be positive on it right now. I don't know much about it, but man, boys are busy. My boys are busy over there. Very cool. What's up, Paul? Unfortunately, as humans, we can't know the goal of the game. If we did, then we shortcut the system. I have a hunch on the goal of RHY isn't streaming. Well, do tell Paul if you're interested. Put it, if you have some theories on why he's not streaming. If you want me to talk about it, feel free to put it in there. Again, I think my theory is he's waiting until he's ready, which means he's either looking at some events that he wants to take place, or he wants to launch something first, or I think the pent up FOMO can't be underrated either. Can't be taken for granted. The 2 years of PulseChain, why we sacked for 2 years, I think I posted a video. I'll post a video tomorrow or something about this. I talked about it yesterday with Neil for T-shares. Why'd you wait 2 years? Well, you have skin in the game. You wanted it. You're here. It kept you from other ecosystems. It kept you engaged. It gave you access to other products. And if you had expectations that they were going to get some huge reward directly, monetarily, price-wise, that's why I don't have expectations. So I don't have disappointments. But everything else, I don't know, would have been nice to get a 10 or 20x or whatever. But again, do you think that's good for the ecosystem? You get it and just leave, or you have to earn it. Maybe it's about earning it. Again, if there's something I don't understand, I just believe it's a deficiency in me about what Richard does, because he's smarter than me, smarter than a lot of people. All right, gonna go up. How do you feel about the ETF BlackRock trying to get past? I don't know how many of these alarm bells. It just feels to me, when I look at it, I just think, wow, crypto definitely has a future. It's not looking good for all the SEC crackdown stuff. It's definitely looking like big business wants this. And if everybody wants their baby gains with Bitcoin and Ethereum, as long as they don't mess with their mad gains, well, there's nothing we can do about it. The way I feel about it doesn't matter. The way, like, I don't know about every American, maybe they would vote differently, but millions of people could feel negative about this and not have any influence over the decision being made up there. Billions, even BlackRock, they have a lot of stuff. So I don't know. I just don't think it's that important to even think about, because there's nothing we can do about it. And let them have their Bitcoin. If it gets too centralized, I'm sure people pivot to other products. Conspiracy, it's great for Hex. I have no idea. But I don't know. There's people in crypto for decentralization. There's people in crypto for price. There's people in crypto to get rich quick. There's people in crypto for passive income that's better than real world products. People are in it for different things. So BlackRock doing stuff. I don't know. I just don't think I haven't thought much about it, because nothing I can sway either way on it. But I would say the one positive I did get was legitimacy. Can't be cracking down too hard. I don't think you'd crack down too hard if some of the people with the most money in the world want it to go up in price. That was my reaction. So, guys, back. Let's see. There was a bridge WBTC and free BTC Pool that ended in the farms last lesson. Oh yeah, there was a. I remember that. There was a farm. I don't understand the problem though with it. I don't know why it was pulled, but I'm also not sure why you didn't like it was pulled. So if you want to comment, put some commentary about why you didn't like it being pulled, then I can talk about it too. But okay, thanks for the reminder on that. David Daly, I think RH is streaming because he wants to make the ecosystem more decentralized and less depend on streams or official from anything. Interesting. Yeah, I have came across the thought, I believe, when I was thinking about this before, of him not wanting to stream because it looks okay. So there's two parts to this. There's perhaps it's staying away from entrepreneurial effort, blah, blah, blah. Even though Hex, PulseChain, all this stuff fails the Howey test completely in every different direction, just about. And you got to pass all the legs for it to, be all that stuff. But I think there is something to be said about entrepreneurial effort. There's a lot of regulatory scrutiny right now in crypto, and anything that would make him, he could be avoiding anything that would make him look like he has anything to do with it. Because wouldn't it be cool if he said, I didn't stream for 6 months or a year after PulseChain launched and price went up? Wouldn't it be cool if he could say that? That would totally shut down anything that it would be having to do with him doing all this stuff. And the other part is just honestly, I think it's people. I think it could be a message to the community too of, I do not pump your bags. I do not control the market. We clearly see, I had a tweet the other day about, hey, anyone still think Richard's manipulating the market when Hex is down like 99, 98%, whatever it is? So I think there's a lot of advantages. Maybe that's the way to look at it. Maybe there's a lot of advantages to not streaming, to not look like a figurehead or someone who is controlling things. Maybe there's advantages to that he likes. And there's a balance there, right? Like, if he doesn't stream for a year, that's gonna, there's a lot of people in the community not gonna like that. They're not gonna take that as a good sign. So he doesn't work for you, doesn't work for me. We don't work for him. That's a cool thing. None of us work for him. So he doesn't control us and we don't control him. Kind of a beautiful thing. Maybe it says, yes, 100 art stream would be cool, but you can also just watch RHMax. Nice. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. I'm not perfect. However, I do try to conduct myself in the values that a lot of stuff and we're different though too. I mean, I don't know. Richard doesn't monetize his streams. I don't monetize mine, although, he's a businessman. I don't make crypto my business, or I don't make streaming my business, I guess I would say. So nothing against anyone out there that monetizes, blah, blah, blah. You guys know how I feel about it though. More trouble than it's worth. I don't want anyone to have expectations of me I don't want anyone to control my time. I don't want to even indirectly be incentivized to get up here unless I want to get up here and talk. I want to, so I don't do consulting. I want to get away from selling my time. I want to retire. I don't want to have anyone have expectations that they're paying me to do something. I've been doing that for a long time. I'm good. I'm done being paid for stuff. I can get paid through smart contracts. I can get paid through, yield. I can get paid through my own acumen and judgment and investment thesis. That's how I want to get paid. I don't get paid by, I don't want anyone else. I want everyone else to make their own money. I make my money. We're all good. We all win. So that's why I go out of my way not to monetize my stuff. I spend a lot of money. Media, validator stuff, all that stuff. Time. How much is my time worth? Worth $100? $500? How much is it worth per hour? How many streams have I did? I'm here because I believe in the mission. Thankfully, I don't need money to survive. I've got plenty. Let's see. Hex on Ethereum is mooning 9%. Is that the new definition of mooning now? 9%. I mean, it shows some resiliency. It is pretty cool. I like that. Chad says, I think he's trying to stay quiet, let natural post-dump lunch play without interference. Yeah, that's just to build on some other 2 points. I really think he's trying to stay out of the way. I think he wants to stream when things have settled down and he has things to brag about, some stats. He has some new things to announce. Like he wants it to be, again, pure speculation, but I think he wants it to be like this amazing, magical, like newsworthy experience when he streams, whether it's with Ivan or with, Crypto Ran or Ranman, I forget his name, or it's on his own channel. But I think it's going to be an event and no need to rush. Again, I don't care when he streams. Don't care when he streams. Win logo for PulseChain token. I think we got one. Looks pretty blue. Good idea, Max. Can we get you a large black pleated chair? How about 8-hour streams? Yeah, I tried sitting. I don't know. I tried sitting when I first started streaming, and I tried sitting the other day when I did the crypto Twitter live. I think it's like a month or 2 ago. And I don't know, my setup is just not good for sitting. Although I wish it would be, because sometimes my calves get sore and like I have to start doing this and like start flexing and stuff. So, but I get your point. Yeah, 8 hours. I can't do 8 hours, man. I did if I do over 2 hours, I feel exhausted. I really do. But I'm not just answering questions from the chat. I just feel like I don't want to waste anyone's time. That's the thing too. I'm not genius billionaire like Richard. So I don't think I have enough to say for a couple hours even by myself. So I don't know. If I had hundreds of people in chat, maybe I'd have enough good questions to talk about. But that sounds exhausting. That sounds like a lot of time. Again, I don't want to be up here just rambling and wasting your time, wasting my time. I want to, Eggs roll. How did I miss that one? What's up, Smoke Spider? They do. Eggs do roll. All right. Guys, get some questions in. I'm going to wrap it up in about 15, 20 minutes. Mark says, how's he staying on the waves on Twitter? I think there's things you can say on Twitter, short form conversation, that are harder. If you get in a long form conversation, you may go down a road that he doesn't want to go down, as far as I don't know, maybe he doesn't want to talk about EHEX and PX. Maybe he doesn't want to talk about bridge stuff. I don't know. I think that on Twitter, I would think of it as is the beacon flashing that things are okay and the updates are coming and he's engaged and stuff. And live stream is, again, I think it's going to be more of an event, and he just wants to save it. So I think. Oh, we'll go show Metamask. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to Metamask. I barely use Ethereum anymore these days too. It's mostly just PulseChain. It's weird when I go to Ethereum. Went to Ethereum for some LP stuff today, and I was like, oh crap. I gotta use this thing. It's like $15 to do a position on something. All that. It's yeah, every once in a while, every few days, I need to use Ethereum to do something, and it's just grossly gross transactions compared to the 5 cents I've been getting used to. I've been anchored at 5 cents for transactions now, and it's hard to go back to the $10, $15 or even $5 that are typical. All right, let me. So here's this website, by the way. It has changed a lot. You guys want to see a trick? Let's see a trick to see what it used to look like. I don't know if any of you know about this, but you can use Wayback Machine. You can look at the Hex website. You can look at whatever. See what it used to look like, because they archive changes. So even in January, let's go back to January 3rd. Pull this over here. This is the alpha that you can't get anywhere else. I can show you how to use archive.org if it loads. There we go. It's starting to load. Oh yeah, because it's had a lot. Yeah, you guys remember this? Richard Hart is a force for good in the world. So much more about the outreach marketing, much more about diamonds and all these awesome. Man, I miss it. I miss the outrage stuff. I got used to it. Yeah, it was a little bit outrageous sometimes, but I really got used to it. I really enjoyed it. I love this gold, by the way. When I first saw this, I really didn't appreciate it. I didn't appreciate it. And then now every time I go back and look at the stream or look at the GIFs where he's running back and forth with the hood on and stuff, I'm just like, that is a baller suit. That is a baller. I like that. I kind of want those pajamas, actually. So that was that rage marketing. Yeah, now it's more about, hey, I'm just a normal person. I grew up in Florida. I install toilets and stuff. All that stuff. So, and again, this doesn't take away from his mission or anything he does. And, none of this stuff has changed. Wow. Actually, I haven't been to this website for a while. I actually linked to each of these videos, which is cool. So this is what I tell people too, at least once a year, I go back and I watch all of his original self-help stuff, all of his, all these videos, how to stop gambling, how to give good apologies, all this stuff. And it's really cool to go back and watch them. And, you get nostalgic and all that stuff, because that's what onboarded me. I got onboarded through him as a person, as someone to learn from. And then came Hex and PulseChain, and it was just perfect timing. Testimonials here. Oh, cool. I haven't seen this one. Nice, champ. So that was outrage. I'm kind of curious myself on this. Let's go back to 2021. I'm at 2018. Did he register in 2018? Interesting. Let's see what it's got. Oh, okay. So he's had the domain for a while, but it was redirecting to his Steemit. Some article on the Steemit. I don't even know if I've seen this. Which is conversation. Maybe this was talking about. Did he link to some article about him back then? Interesting. Okay, so yeah, some Steam article. Interesting that he would link to that one. Okay, and then we go to 2021. So let's look at April 2021. I'm curious what it used to look like too. And there's a whole bunch of stuff about Richard Schuler. You can go read about it on Google. It's just not that. Honestly, it's not that interesting to me anymore. I know the full story, and who cares? I don't think it's useful to even talk about, because he's like doing so much more interesting stuff. Okay, yeah. So this was when he was in Malta on stage. Is that when he called out Craig Wright or something like that? He was on stage. I believe I clipped one of these too. So the whole message has always been force for good in the world, on the modern website. Yeah, this came out like today or yesterday when he was with the Swedish finance minister and Ivan. So him and Ivan have known each other for a long time. That was back in 2018, I believe. 2018, 2019, 2020, somewhere through there. And then this is the magician. He was magician face for a long time before he ever changed his Twitter and YouTube. Make people's life better. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like the way he lays out the website. I like the way that he wants people to see what his message is. And he wants to, I'll go to my website when I wrap up here in a minute to kind of show you too, but he wants people to live better lives. He wants to make changes in the world. He wants to, longevity research. He wants to save people, like literally, not just your pocketbook. He wants to save, he wants to give you more time with friends and family. So I think that's pretty cool. So this got an update, did it? Maybe you talked more about Scivive. Yeah. So now, nice, hexagon. And then, okay, so it's just a little bit different pictures and stuff. Anyways, you can see the different phases and stuff here too. Oh, he still has one picture here of him in the glory suit of the second Hex anniversary. All right, let me go to the chat before we move on. What's up, CP? Hex Monkey. What's happening, Hex Monkey? I remember meeting you in Miami. Good to see you, man. MA, good morning to you as well. Are you a day one hexagon? Yes, I am a day. I want to say day. What was I saying before? I was saying like day zero because, I was following Richard before that. But yeah, I've always been into Richard's products since he announced them. I remember when Hex was so low. It was on Bidesk, a centralized exchange. I'm not sure if it exists anymore. And I remember looking at it being 1 sat and 2 sats and thinking, do I need to because that was on the BTC pair. So it was like 1 Satoshi, 2 Satoshi. And I remember it being so low that I was thinking, do I need to deposit ETH so I can trade on the ETH pair? Like, is this thing ever going to go up? I remember thinking that. Oh, early days of Hex. Fun times. Sorry, people. No, man. No, good questions. I'm first principles thinker. All the questions you've asked, lots of people have been thinking too. So no, not negative at all. I don't. It's awesome. Like, hopefully no one else takes any offense to it either, because these are questions you need to ask. I mean, you want to know the people behind these projects, and that's why I'm here. That's why I'm having the stream. I will tell you what I know, what I believe, all those things. Like the video, if you prefer. What's up, Bob McJoe? Okay, let's go on to .org. I don't know if anyone ever goes to my website, but I have a website. I'll drop it in the chat. I actually did redesigned it a little bit the last couple months too, just to add some more information. Again, Richard's whole thing, be a force for good in the world. I believe that too. I believe that is the most powerful message, one of the most powerful messages I can think of, in just like a very concise way of putting it. Be a force for good. How you define good, everyone does differently, whatever. But to me, it's the ideals you believe are healthy and good, helping people achieve them, helping yourself, and then helping other people achieve them as well. You can't help people if you're broke, right? So maybe if you get rich first, you can help a lot more people with whatever you want to do, whatever you believe is good. And yeah, it talks about Scivive, fix the world, his products, win together. Yeah, let's get you healthy, wealthy, and wise. You decide what to do. That's the whole point. And Naval, if you see him on Twitter too, I follow Naval Ravikant a lot. One of my other favorite people to learn from, and just doing really good things. And he talks about, he's like, get rich first and then figure out what you want to do. You can't do big things unless you have a lot of money, generally speaking, right? You can't create a foundation to go tackle ideals that you believe are awesome. Like maybe Richard starts the Heart Foundation one day, the Heart Foundation. I've been saying that for a while. Maybe start something like that. work on longevity research. So, but you can't do it unless you got a lot of money. You can't start these things. You can't have the kind of impacts. And that's why, that's why Richard wants to be as rich as possible, because he's got some big ideals that he wants to fund to help people. And one of his favorite quotes: "The only people who make money in crypto founders, exchanges, and holders." We are the holders, aren't we? So my blog is where most of the stuff is. There's an about page too, but it's just got my old picture on it. Talks about stuff that I like and Richard stuff too. But if you go to the blog, that's where I publish a lot of stuff. I published the how to become PulseChain validator recently, if you're interested in that kind of stuff. And then the post I want to show you all, though, is Glory. And I'll drop this in the chat. This is something I wrote last year, over a year ago, March 18th of last year. Welcome, Hazel Hex. Nice name. And if you're really interested in Richard's mission and you want to, get the perspective, what I've got, last year before I even started streaming. I didn't start streaming until May, I believe. So this is before I started streaming, just when I started communicating with the community, being active on Twitter, all that stuff. So I started the blog. And I wanted to kind of get out of my mind and on paper, how I think about Richard and why I believe in him and his mission and his products and stuff like that. So read it at your leisure. To me, I kind of broke it in different parts, like the playbook, create a following, create a tribe, create a mission, and then create new missions, maybe PulseChain, all this stuff. Keep people involved, keep people active, but in a healthy way. So scammers can do this stuff too. Scammers can suck you in. They can do all this stuff. They can sell you all these dreams and rug pull you and all that stuff. But the difference here is it's a magic carpet ride. From all I've seen and all I understand and all the things that I put together, again, thinking from first principles, I'm not some cult member or whatever. The way I explain it is, I don't know why it wouldn't work. I don't know why I don't know why he would have bad intentions. Already rich, doesn't need money. Has a very, noble mission, longevity research, helping people live the best version of their lives, all that stuff. He seems completely aligned, much more than any other founder I've ever seen, to do good, to be a force for good in the world. To do that, he needs to have capital. He needs to have even more resources and assets than he's ever had before. Crypto, so everyone can understand, I imagine if you're here, is the quickest way of doing that, right? So anyways, this is the blog I wrote about it, the end game, what I believe after analyzing and watching him for years, even before this. I'd been following him for 5 years or something before this. And I still, I haven't read it for a while, but I think I don't think I would change anything really. Or none of the key values or the key ideals here. So what it takes for glory. Again, I believe he is a force for good in the world, and a lot of us can take part in that too. So, but if you've been here 6 months and you're just like, oh, why is price go down? I don't understand. Why is he not talking to it? A lot of it's just not from understanding. You just don't understand. And you just want someone to you just want the chart to go up or something. And it's way deeper than that, as I describe here. So if you're interested, read it. Feel free. If you want to understand more about Richard, his mission, and why maybe some of the things you don't understand, could put some pieces together for you, if you even believe the words written here. But I believe them. I wrote them. And that's why I've been, I don't participate in other ecosystems. I spend a lot of time, money, resources. I'm live with you all now for a reason. I believe this is the fairest ecosystem. I think that's all you can ask for. I don't expect someone to 10,000x my coins. I don't expect that. What I can expect and what I want out of the ecosystem is a fair shot to be the best version of myself, the best investor, to use and wield the skills and powers and things that I have in the best possible way, and to live and to use that to live a better life and to achieve, whatever, my goals, your goals, everyone else's goals is. That's all I can ask for. The cool thing about this ecosystem too is you can get rich without having to sacrifice your integrity. I think that's very unique as well. You don't need to like create some scam coin and rug pull everyone, although people do that from time to time. You can just, or at least again, me, not financial advice, speaking for myself, I can just buy low, sell high, and stake well. I can earn yield. It's a fair ecosystem. So delayed gratification, there's a bunch of mental models that you can go through too on the blog. But I think that's the coolest thing about the ecosystem. You have a fair shot. You can tell what's going on a lot of times. I mean, Richard's not transparent about everything. He doesn't need to be. But once you understand, again, his mission, it all just makes sense. It all comes together. So it did for me, and hopefully it will for you as well. Anyways, that's all I got. Richard Hart AMA number 6 complete. Stephen Beers has a bad intentions products for thriving with Moon was first in there. There you go. That's all I got for you today. Let me know if you have any questions. Add me on Twitter, or let's see, I'll be back tomorrow with Corey Costa. Corey Costa will be on the show. Sure, we'll talk about some interesting things on Hex, PulseChain, and everything else. But I hope that this was helpful. Hope if you were missing something that you didn't understand, hopefully you found it, or maybe it brought some other questions to you, and I'll try to answer them as I can. No expectations. But thanks for joining me. Appreciate all of you watching, and I will see everyone tomorrow at 12 o'clock Pacific, around the same time. That being said, Scivive and 5555. We are out.